And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Last Word on Sports Media Podcast, Daily Edition. I'm Mike Gill. What is happening? Busy day. Yesterday, TJ and I hit on everything that was happening in the sports media world. If you missed that, it was about an hour-long conversation. Check it out on the Last Word on Sports Media feed. This is the Daily Pod, about a 10 to 12, 15-minute ins and outs of everything that's going on. It drops middays right here on Last Word on Sports Media. Subscribe, like, rate, review wherever you get your podcasts, and check us out on the Last Word on Sports Media each and every day. All right, so a lot of stuff to quickly dive into here. And if you could, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show. I think that one of the big stories has been the Major League Baseball ratings. I think that was been a great story, so I do want to start there because we always talk college football. We always talk about the NFL and the powerful ratings that they bring. But the first 2 days of the NLDS, how about the viewership there? Mets, Phillies, Padres, Dodgers averaged 3.6 million viewers over the weekend. That's up against football. And the Mets, Phillies, game one, almost 5 million viewers on Fox. The Mets-Phillies game 2 over on FS1, 3.4 million. Padres Dodgers game 1, 2.8. Game 2, 3.4. Padres Dodgers, those two FS1 games. So both those games got FS1. Phillies on the main Fox, but almost 5 million on the main Fox. So it shows you baseball, the NLDS, there is interest there. The Yankees and the Royals, they were on TBS. 3.2 for game 1. Tigers Guardians 1.5. So you do see the dip with the Tigers Guardians, but still 1.5 on TBS. But that Phillies Mets almost 5 million on Fox. So baseball kind of starts things off there for Last Word on Sports Media Daily. Big story, obviously, that we talked about in length on the full podcast on Tuesday is ESPN senior NBA insider Shams Charania. He is going to make his debut on Thursday. You're going to see him on Get Up, First Take, The Pat McAfee Show, Sports Center, NBA Today, and that is pretty much going to be his existence now that he is an ESPNer. You are going to see him be the main newsbreaker at ESPN and appear across all the platforms. He has already been doing the McAfee Show, so that's not new. But Get Up, First Take, Sports Center, NBA Today, all of the platforms, probably NBA games, pre-games, all that stuff. So Shams, ESPN. And listen, we had talked about it a lot on this podcast. I thought the Shams decision was an easy one for them. They could talk about passing and this, that, the other thing. This was the guy that they had to go get, and they got it done. So that happens starting tomorrow. Shams will be appearing, making his debut on all of the platforms. NFL, Monday Night Football, Chiefs and Saints, not like a marquee Saints team. Chiefs, though, they draw the viewers in no matter what. Nearly 16 million viewers. It's the most watched Monday Night Football game that was not also on ABC. Remember, they simulcast it for during the writer's strike. They had that simulcast on ABC. This is 16 million viewers. Also the most watched Manning cast in a long, long time, like 1.5 on the Manning cast. I don't know how many people are still watching Manning cast. I think the first year it felt big. And look, it's still a good show. It's not the show. It's the fact that you got Buck and Aikman. The first year when you didn't have Buck and Aikman, you were more inclined to go to the Manning cast. Now, with Buck and Aikman, I find myself less going to Manning cast and just watching clips and highlights. But 1.4, I think the number was on the Manning cast over there. We talked about the baseball. Let's go over to college football this weekend. College football had some interesting numbers. ABC and ESPN, they won all 4 Saturday windows. And the numbers went like this for week 6. Tennessee, Arkansas, 5.3 ABC. Auburn, Georgia, 4.9 ABC. So those SEC games that ESPN invested in, they're winning the weekend for them. Iowa, Ohio State, that's the Big Ten package. That's CBS now, 4.5. Michigan, Washington, that's NBC, 4.4 with Peacock. Mizzou and Texas A&M, ABC, 3.3. That's an SEC game. Michigan State, Oregon, that's a Big Ten game, believe it or not. That's a Fox. Remember, Fox and the Big Ten and NBC and CBS, they have this kind of draft system on who gets the games. There's one in the early window with that big noon kickoff. That's Michigan State, Oregon, 2.8. Then they get the one game on CBS at 3:30, Iowa, Ohio State. And then they get the night game in NBC primetime, Michigan, Washington. So decent numbers as well for the conglomerate that carries the Big Ten. UCLA, Penn State, two big programs, big names, 2.7 on Fox. Miami, Cal, that was a great game, late night. ESPN had that one with almost 2 million viewers for ESPN. So college football continues to put up the numbers. We talked yesterday about the Amazon Prime stuff. We talked yesterday about some of the NFL Monday Night Football. And while we have you for the daily here, we'll continue to give you a couple things. As we said, the Monday Night Football, the number for that Manning Cast, 1.4 million viewers of the Manning Cast. Couple things on the college football and some lower level games. SMU, Louisville, 1.4. These are thanks to Sports Media Watch, John Lewis over there. That's ESPN. CBS had Navy Air Force, 1.2 for that game. Mississippi, South Carolina, 1.2. ESPN. Baylor, Iowa State on Fox, 1.2. That was a late game, 7:30. Rutgers, Nebraska, Big Ten, 1 million viewers on FS1. Fox had a game, Texas Tech in Arizona. That had 943,000. USC, Minnesota, 700,000 on the Big Ten network. There you go. CW, who knew college football was on the CW? That's that like Pac-12, Pac-2, I guess it is, package. 568,000 watched that game. Oregon State, Colorado State on the CW. And you had Wake Forest, NC State, ACC. That game had 446,000 on the CW. So some college football numbers there. All right. Why we have a couple minutes left, I want to give a shout out to a couple calls. Let's go to call number one, which it is Bob Wischusen, first ever goal, Utah Hockey Club. I guess that's the name for at least this year. This is Bob Wischusen, ESPN, on the call in the opener, the first game ever for the Utah Hockey Club and the first goal ever for the Utah Hockey Club. Bob Wischusen with the call, the first goal ever. Here it is, and here's how it went down. Bob Wischusen on the call for ESPN television. Dylan Gunther makes history for the for the Utah Hockey Club, the first goal in their existence. All right, another one that I want to point out. This is an interesting one because Joe Davis, who is, the World Series voice, he is the voice of the Dodgers as well. So being the voice of the Dodgers in this situation, he's used to calling Dodger games. Well, here he is calling the Dodgers and the Padres in the National League Championship. And you have a situation where you have to not show bias. And I thought he really, really nails the call here. Fernando Tatis for the Padres is up against Walker Buehler. Here's the call. Joe Davis on Fox. That is Joe Davis on Fox. I thought he nailed it. I mean, electric. The call, obviously he's doing a game in which the team he calls every day is in the game and shows no bias there. So good job, Joe Davis. there you go. Some daily takes for you there. And of course, you get the Last Word on Sports Media Daily wherever you get your podcasts. Like, rate, review, and subscribe. You can watch this version on the YouTube channel at Mike Gill Show, Last Word on Sports Media Daily, each and every day. Tuesday, we go a little longer and kind of take all the big stories. And if you want to check that out, it's on this podcast feed, Last Word on Sports Media. Check that out. TJ is back tomorrow. I will be back on Friday with another edition of the Last Word on Sports Media. For now, I'm Mike Gill. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and check us out tomorrow here on Last Word on Sports Media, the podcast.